Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we are working on part 3 of our How to Illustrate People series. Today it is all about the body. So we are going to learn how to draw the body in different proportions. And yeah, so let's jump right in.
Okay, so to start, I'm just gonna go through my materials again. Get any kind of paper you have, scrap paper, printer paper, line paper, whatever paper, something to draw on. A pencil, doesn't have to be fancy, and an eraser, doesn't have to be fancy. Okay, that's all you need. So today we are drawing bodies, body poses, a little bit of body proportions, but we're gonna make it as simple as we can. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you how to do a man, woman, and a child. So let's start up here with our head. Again, we're just keeping the heads really simple. Circles, you can do your little guidelines if you want to put your face on it just to help. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to draw a line coming right down the center to right about where you think their hips would be. So depending on how long this line is, you are kind of setting the tone of the proportions of the body. Obviously, not everybody looks the same. Okay, so maybe they're really tall, so you can draw a long one, but the end is where the hips are going to be. And you can play around with this and just see what looks best, what doesn't look best. If you want to maybe map out the whole height of your character to start off with, and then divide it into 4. So the hips are gonna hit like right halfway. All right, so maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 sides on that side. 1, 2, wait, no, the head, that has to include the head. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's hope that makes sense. Either way, the hips are halfway down. You're also going to draw the shoulders. Men's shoulders are a bit more broader, so this line is going to be longer. It's going to be just below the chin. Make some room for that neck. Okay, longer line here for shoulders, shorter line for the hips. Okay, then you're going to do 2 lines for the arms. The arms, the elbow is going to hit kind of right where that belly button would be. So if this is like the hip bone, it's going to be slightly right there. So that's where the elbow is going to hit. You can do a little circle there just to remind yourself where that joint is. Then you're going to draw the forearms, which will kind of hit right around where, just below the crotch area. Okay. And the hands will hit right there. All right. Then from the hips, you are going to draw the legs. Here's our halfway point between the hips and the feet. So the top half of the legs, so the thighs, and then the shin area. This looks crazy, eh? I know, but it's gonna make sense. Ultimately, what you wanna be doing is 1 line down for the torso, larger line for the shoulders, shorter line for the hips, halfway, almost kind of halfway, I don't know. Anyway, now we are going to start really drawing the body. So remember, a man's neck is a bit thicker, so you can come out thicker here. Just about halfway, and then you're just gonna do a slight slant like that down to that shoulder line, okay? And then from here, you're gonna do kind of like a slanted line into the hips, all right? And that is the torso. Now, obviously, legs are not stick legs, so we're just gonna thicken those up a bit. The thighs, you can draw where you want the knees. You're going to stop there and then kind of come back. There's like a little almost divot in here. And then the shin area is a little bit thinner. Okay? Maybe his leg is actually pointed out this way. Like so. And then you can just draw, let's just draw circles for the feet right now. Okay? Now let's do the arms. Maybe he has a nice muscular arm, so you can do a bit of a curve into that elbow. Curve into that elbow area, and then another curve for the forearm, but a little bit thinner this time. Does he look crazy yet? I think so. Another curve, and then for hands, totally up to you if you want to really draw hands. I think his forearms are a bit too long. His hands are supposed to be hitting at the end of those right here. So let's stop the upper arm there, forearm shorter. Come right into where the wrist is and then come out. And you can just do a little thumb there. This is an easy way to draw kind of like the side of hands. And then like a little claw. I know it looks a little weird. It's all good. Okay, so forearm, come in for the wrist, that little thumb there, and a little claw. Okay. And then for feet, you can, depends on what footwear they're wearing, but it kind of just gets a bit thicker and it's kind of like a circular shape or an oval shape, whatever you like. Okay, let me outline this so you can actually see it and it doesn't look as crazy. Okay, we're gonna give this man a little bit more of a chiseled jaw here, maybe some hair. Okay, remember that thick neck, come down, curved upper arms, so they're just slightly curved out, come in at the elbow, another little curve, but not as big as his biceps. That's what they're called. There you go. Thumb, little claw thing here. Again, forearms, in, thumb. Okay, you want to make sure you're going in at the wrist and a little bit in right where the elbow meets. And then you can always give more shape to the chest. It doesn't have to be straight lines, okay? You can just kind of curve it a bit more if you like. Make sure this guy's wearing, maybe he's wearing a t-shirt. There we go. Legs, again, curving out, just like we did with the arms, coming in at the knee, again, out a little bit. It's the same thing as the top, but smaller. Apparently he's wearing some skinny jeans. You can wear baggy pants, it's fine. Whatever you're into. Okay, his knee is slightly pointed out that way a bit. Like that. You can do shoelaces, whatever you want. But that's basically it, okay? And we got that from just our little skeleton thing. So let's try this again, but with a woman. Okay, so maybe our lady is just as tall or even a little bit smaller. I am the same height as my husband, so I'm a tall girl. Okay, you can do your little proportions for the face if you want. Okay, and then again, here is our height, right? So let's find the halfway point, kind of. That's the hip bone, like the pelvis. Okay, now with the women, I want you to find their belly button area. So it's not halfway in between the head here. It's just a little bit above that hip. Okay, and you'll see why after. So let's draw our line down to the hip here. Okay, shoulders are going to be smaller than men's, so give it a little bit of space for the neck. Smaller shoulders, and then I don't know about you, but I got some big hips, so they can even be the same size as the shoulders if you want. If you want narrow hips, a little bit smaller. If you want bigger hips, you can draw them as big as you like. Okay, there you go. And then from the hips, you're going to do the leg bones. So depending on how you want your legs to be drawn, far apart, doesn't matter. But remember, halfway for the knee, and down, halfway, down. Arms. Elbow is just kind of where the belly button is actually. And then the forearms to the hands, just below the hips. Okay, we got our crazy stick figure here. Now let's put it all in. Let's give her a little bit of face. Like that. Neck comes down right above here, and then it's going to slant out over those shoulders. Okay, it's a slight slant. Then here's our hip area. So depending on how big you want the waist, if you want it bigger, smaller, doesn't matter. You can actually draw another line. So let's make her waist around the same as her hips, depending on how you want to draw it. Okay, and you're just going to come right in to that hip area from underneath the armpit, kind of like that, and then you're going to go out above that hip. Let's draw these arms. Same kind of deal as these arms, a little bit curved to the elbow, but maybe smaller. Again, curve in, do that little thumb and the claw. Curve to the elbow, in, again, out a bit. Okay, so our limbs look like this, like our arms. Curve, elbow, smaller curve, hand. Okay, just in case that's not clear. Like that. Hand like that. Okay, and if you want her to have bigger hips, you can always come out. Again, let's make these legs thicker. Women tend to have thicker thighs than men. Lord knows I do. Okay. Okay, let's give her some nice, thick, beautiful legs. Again, with that same kind of shape going again. You can always put her in a dress, whatever you want. And then the calves, same kind of shape, but smaller. Like thinner, like that. And then for her, depending on if you're gonna be drawing a dress or jeans, we usually tend to have it thinner where you can see our ankles. So it comes nice and thin down here at the ankle area. And then we can just draw kind of like a oval shape. Like that. She looks a little weird. It's all good. Let's put her in some ink so we make her look a little bit better. Okay, I just love curly hair, so. Fun fact, I have curly hair, but it's not the nice kind of curly hair. It's the kind that just like after you've like put it up a couple times, it just like half of it's straight, half of it's curly. It just looks ridiculous. I would love just curls. I used to have just curls when I was little, but I guess I straightened it too many times. Let's give her her face. Okay. And if you want to draw the chest area a bit more pronounced, you know, you can always do that. Have that waist come in. I say we give her, no, let's give her pants. Like that. Arms. I feel like these arms are way too thin, but whatever. Like that. Let's give her an outfit. Maybe she's wearing bike shorts. That's it now, isn't it? Whatever you want her to wear. Okay, well, let's give her like a t-shirt. There, she's cool. Okay, so there's our women's body. You can always draw the little knee bones too, like that. Okay, now we are going to draw a child's proportion. So the child is smaller. So let's put the head down here. We'll do two. We'll do an older child and a younger child. Let's draw where we want the end of their body to be. Okay, and then a child is kind of more in like 5 parts. So we have the head, and then we're gonna split the rest into 4. So let's find the halfway between the body, and that's gonna be kind of where the hips are too. No, yeah, so we're gonna do the same as this. Halfway. Okay, let's do our shoulders. Small shoulders, small hips. Okay, so depending on a boy or girl, it's kind of the same. We haven't developed yet at that point. Okay. Legs, again, halfway is where your knee is, down. Same kind of thing. Arms. Like that. Okay. So let's connect it. Like that. And let's just ink this buddy up. Okay. Little neck, smaller shoulders, come right under the armpit, kind of give some space for those arms. Actually, we don't have to come in. This kid can be wearing a t-shirt. Go over the legs. He's wearing pants. Circles for the shoes. Arms come in at the elbow. Same kind of thing, same formula, just shorter. there's our little guy. I did not do the lines, that's all good. And now let's try, lastly, like a toddler, so like a baby. Okay, we're gonna have it here. Pick where they end. Halfway for the hips, same deal. Except their arms are really short. It's funny, when my son puts his arms up in the air, it's really funny to watch. Remember with our faces, sometimes their faces are a little bit rounder and fatter, chubbier. Little girl with pigtails. Short little neck. Let's give her a dress. I mean, you don't see the knee there, so you're only seeing the calf. Oops. Oopsie. Those feet are crazy. Arms. Sometimes, and I'll give you a trick, when I didn't want to draw arms or hands, I would always just put the character's hands behind their back. So let's do that there. Like that, and there you go. So that's kind of it. It's really, really simple. Now, the only tricky thing is when you want to start getting your character into different positions. So I'm gonna use the same method, but show you with different positions. Okay, so let's say our friend is sitting on stairs, okay? Let's draw the head. And we're gonna think of the spine up to the hips, okay? So hips, draw the hips, draw the shoulders, draw the legs. Where would the legs be? The legs are coming up, down, down. They're sitting on the steps somewhere. Maybe they have their elbows on their knees and their hands up to their face. Okay, same kind of stick figure thing going on. All right, let's ink this guy up. Okay, again, here's the neck, come down to the shoulders. Now you gotta think, because the hands are in front, our forearms are in front, so let's do those first. Coming up like this. Like that. Okay, back coming to the hips. Don't forget that bum. Okay, and the knees are coming up. Like that. And the body kind of behind. Maybe she has a ponytail or something. And you can put the hands kind of under her chin. Same kind of thing. That's really, really rough. But that's what I mean when I say different poses. So use the same kind of formula. Let's say someone is walking, okay? It's a side view. Someone's walking. So think that line to where their hip is. Now you're not gonna see the full width of their hips because they're sideways. So let's just draw a little hip there. Same with the shoulders, a bit on the slant, okay? But the legs are walking. So one leg is gonna go forward, thigh, like shin area. Other foot is going backwards, okay? Like that. Maybe this hand is walking dog. And we might not see that one. Okay, so stick figure guy, here we go. So we're doing a side view of the face. So let's do a little nose like that. Remember the ear, okay? The neck down to the shoulders. Shoulder is facing us. So let's draw this forearm first. Like that. Now you're gonna see his chest coming down to the hips. This leg is forward. This leg is back. You know, maybe I don't know what he's doing. Okay, he's got a little dog with him. Tiny, that looks like a rabbit. Maybe it's a cat, I don't know. Okay? It's a little rat dog. I don't know. Okay? But just using that stick figure way, maybe his, yeah, let's do his other arm. Or maybe he's holding a coffee. Okay, but I suggest you look at, you know, images of people moving, see if you can see those lines within them, and just try and pose them in different areas. Start out with this first, practice, 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 and then eventually it will get a little easier to draw people in different positions. And I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial.
Thank you all so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram for even more. Have a great day, guys. Bye!